So in this BuyBotPro video, I'm going to introduce you to our newest addition to the details section, which is the BuyBox suppressed indicator. Now it does exactly what it says on the tin. It will tell you if the BuyBox is suppressed on that listing or not. Now you might be wondering what this means and how it can affect your analysis, and if this is a make or break factor. Now it isn't necessarily a make or break factor in the same way that IP would be, but it can be a reasoning for you not to go ahead with a listing at that particular point in time, but maybe you can do in the future, unlike IP where it's pretty much set in stone. With a suppressed BuyBox, that's not really the case. I understand why it may put you off, because obviously the BuyBox isn't there, and that's what it means. The BuyBox is removed from the listing. That means your chances of making sales solely rely upon customers choosing you as an individual from the list of people to buy from. Now what you can typically expect to see on the Amazon listing when there is no BuyBox is something like this. It literally just says there's no featured offers available. Now why does this happen? It tends to be because someone on the listing or multiple people on the listing have set their prices way too high, like well beyond what Amazon deems to be sensible, and they send those sellers high price alerts and so forth, and if they don't sort it, then it will remain suppressed. If the pricing on the listing goes that high, Amazon will suppress the BuyBox. It will return when people have rectified their prices, basically. There is the obvious possibility to increase the pricing on a listing with sensible steps, and especially if you've got a repricing tool and you've got a sensible maximum price set, then you can achieve a higher price on that listing in time. But setting your max price to something super high and then having a repricing tool go all the way up there once you've won the BuyBox is a one-way ticket to a suppressed BuyBox, because it's not sensible, it's not in line with other people's offers on the listing, and in some cases it can be pretty much ridiculous to pay X amount for something that isn't worth that much. So it's understandable why a suppressed BuyBox exists, and what it can do is help you with reading the charts as well. So sometimes you might find you're in a case like this where there's not really much BuyBox information on the charts. Now this can be for one of two reasons: either the BuyBox is genuinely suppressed, or Keeper is not tracking that information. Therefore, because Keeper's not tracked that information, it's not on here. And obviously BuyBotPro gets the vast majority of its sales chart information from Keeper data, and if it's not being tracked by them, then it won't be tracked here. So therefore you'll see blank. Now is that because it's suppressed, or is it because it's missing? Now if you see that the BuyBox is suppressed, and that very clearly is the case, and that'll be why. However, if there is a BuyBox present and it's not suppressed, and you're seeing that there is like a gap, then it could be that the BuyBox was suppressed at that time. However, that might be something to check back up on, but more than likely it'll be because the data is just missing from Keeper. Okay, so that is a suppressed BuyBox. Now, can you go on a listing that has a suppressed BuyBox? Yes, you 100% can, but it depends how often the BuyBox has been suppressed. Given that the only bit of data I have right here is this little scrap right here where the BuyBox was present at this point in time all the way back in December, and it hasn't been present since, this BuyBox looks to have been suppressed for a very long time. Therefore, I wouldn't deem this worth it. And as you can see, there's not very many sales in a month either, so it looks like the people that are on here are clearly relying on people choosing them to buy from. Whereas, if you're on a listing with a BuyBox, your chances of making sales are higher, because if you hold the BuyBox, you make the sales. So in this case, yes, I would avoid. However, if you see that the BuyBox is currently suppressed, but for the vast majority of time in the past there has been a BuyBox clearly present, as from what you can see in the sales chart, then it's likely just a blip, and it might be something that you check back up on in like a few days or a week or something to see if it's reinstated. But it should then get reinstated once someone corrects their pricing and sets a much more sensible price, and it comes down from wherever it was at, which Amazon deem as not sensible. So all is not lost if there is a suppressed BuyBox. It purely depends on the situation, but this indicator is going to become really useful for assessing the BuyBox data on the sales chart. Hopefully this video was helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later.